Okay, that's fine. Thanks. Thanks for letting me know. Okay, thanks. So hi. So here is 10 p.m. in Japan, Tokyo time. So I was wondering what time is convenient for everyone. So in the USA, the East Coast and the West Coast, there's have a much different time. So it's so difficult uh to make the right time for many people. Oh, thank you for the questions. What made you get started with composing? Uh, I think uh, the age I started composing was uh, the maybe later compared to the other composers. I started composing when I was a university student, and my major was uh, actually sociology. It's that it didn't relate to the music topics or music related major, and it was just a normal private university. So I just started composing because I was so impressed by the Final Fantasy or Kingdom Hearts or the other fantasy RPGs, and I was so impressed by the RPG music, and somehow I felt like okay, I wanted to make this kind of music, and fortunately, uh, I could play piano, and I started piano at age of 6, and I continued it until I became like 20 or 21. So I continued piano for 15 years. So yes, I have the basic musical sense or yeah basic skills, but I didn't have many experience of composing. I just uh, bought a synthesizer at the hardware shop. Okay, I want to make music. I want to do something like DAW thing, or yeah, I don't know. At that time, I didn't know anything about it, so I just asked the shop owner, and okay, you can make music with this, and I bought the synthesizer. It was Korg X uh, 50. It's not available now, and just connected it to the computer and started to composing. I remember the first music I made was the instrumental music of piano and strings. It was like the Ghibli kind of music, and I thought, okay, okay, this is song. So I realized I could make some music. So okay, let's try another song, and I just learned composing by myself. And okay, yes, uh, this is how I started composing. So, okay, I forgot to see the comments. Yeah. Oh, you have it? The Korg 50. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Actually, I'm using it still now. Still now, I'm using it. Yeah, if I type the music, something like very realistic piano music, I I would use the more realistic keyboard for making music. But this is so light, so light. So it's uh it's very easy to tap some drums or something like staccato passage. So I'm using it still now. It's available. Good evening. Yeah, I'm doing well. I'm enjoying the talking. I'm enjoying my first live streaming with you. So if I have another chance to chat, maybe I will change time, like in uh 11 in the morning in Tokyo time. So maybe the people in the other area who couldn't uh, make it today will participate in the chat. So maybe I would do this also next time because yes, I'm enjoying this. It's so fun. I joined a little late. Don't worry, I was late too. Sorry. But what program do you use to compose? Program? Do you mean DAW? I the only DAW I use is Cubase. Cubase. I have never used uh uh the something like the other DAWs like Logic or other DAWs. I use only Cubase. Because in Japan, the share of Cubase is so high, and there is the uh what is it called in English? So there is a company to support Cubase Japanese user, the Yamaha company. It's supporting the Cubase users. So for Japanese people, Cubase is so useful. Yes, DAW. I'm not sure about the other countries. What kind of DAW is popular in your country? Oh, I know there is a time lag. Yeah, that's interesting. Maybe if you used the Mac, Many people use Logic. FL Studio. What for AUS? Ah, Pro Tools. Yes. FL Studio. Mm. Or you use three kinds of DAW? Wow. So how you changed your DAW for the, I don't know, for the situation, or what kind of music you use? For me, it would be so complicated to use three DAWs. Like I would get confused with the key shortcuts or something. Logic. Oh, nobody uses Cubase. Many Japanese composers use Cubase. Of course, in the uh, video game industry. Okay, you are only a beginner. Welcome to the world. Ah, so you use different DAW at school and your home. If I went to the music school and the teacher recommended me to use Logic, I would use Logic. So it depends on what you used for the first time. Which composers influenced you the most? It's a little bit difficult question for me. There are many. There are many, but maybe the Joe Hisaishi is the most because his music influenced me uh in the childhood. I was so influenced by the Ghibli music, and the very first CD I bought by myself was the Prince of Mononoke Symphony. I don't remember the English name, but it's a orchestra recorded in the Czech Philharmony, and there is a symphonic CD of Princess Mononoke, and I bought it, and I repeated it many times. At that time, I would never imagine I would be a professional composer in the future. But I felt like listening to it many times. I loved it so much. So I was listening to it many times. My university teaches Logic and Pro Tools. Oh, you personally use Reaper? Oh, you have the point. Uh, it's not so many, but some people use Reaper for composing. In the game sound industry, the audio people in the video game field, uh, there are more sound designers to use Reaper, but not so many composers. Mm. What currently your favorite? VST. Okay, VST. You mean the orchestral instruments? Okay, I mainly make orchestral music, so the orchestral libraries are so important to me. Uh, I use many kind of libraries, but now I'm using the Cinematic Studio Strings for the strings. I combine some other libraries, strings libraries, but I mainly use Cinematic Studio Strings. It can be changed in the future, of course, but I'm using it now. And for the blast, I'm using also the Cinematic Studio Blast and Cineblast series. Mm, I mainly use them for the cinematic or video game music. And for the woodwind, the answer is so simple. I mainly use uh, Berlin. That's all. In my opinion, the Berlin woodwinds has the best quality. Uh, I mean, in the terms of real sound. And for the percussions, I use Spitfire percussions. It's very nice. It has many uh, reverbs, and yes, I like the sound. Mm, these are the what I use. What I mainly use, but I'm not sure I'm using it next year or some month later. I don't know. I used Reaper on my project for sound effects. Oh, that's reasonable. Yeah, that's reasonable. I heard the Reaper is so useful for like editing the audio files. I've heard a lot about CSS. Yes, yes. It's so popular now. Yeah, it's useful. It has in the strings CSS strings library. It has uh I recommend to use Malcart or Mal in Japanese it's called Marukato. In English, Malcart is the right pronunciation. Okay, anyway, I recommend to use Malcart in CSS because it covers staccato or sustain or legato. So You can save time. I'm currently using Composer Cloud. Oh, that's good. From East West, you mean? East West. It's fine, but very outdated, I think. Composer Cloud from East West, you mean? Yeah, East West is, yeah, yeah. I'm still now sometimes, still now I sometimes use East West, the orchestral instrument from East West. It it has very good sound, but as you say, the orchestral instruments sound a little bit like old because yes, it's old. It's old libraries. But yeah, if it's combined with the other instruments, other uh other type of like strings or brass, I think it's still be used. Do you use notation software to compose music even if the music is going to be product with virtual instruments? No. No, I don't use notation software if it's produced with virtual instruments. I don't use Finale. I have Finale. I sometimes use it uh if I record strings or real instruments, but in many cases I don't use it. Gypsy is so nice. La as well. Yes, I agree with you. Your English speaking is always good. Thanks, Mike. Oh, you are my English teacher. Most composers are not recognized, but then AAA games may get big composers like Bia McCready. I love his music. I have his CD. I happen to have his CD here. Love God of War's music. He also score for films. So there is a Japanese question, and he or she asked me, uh, how to how to write how to write like how to express real brass with virtual instrument. Brass is, I think, difficult instruments to express like real instruments. And like as I explained in the former videos I uploaded before, I sometimes write pitch bend, but there is more important thing uh, to write modulation is the most important for the brass instrument. Do you have a favorite genre of game to work on? It's all genre of music. It's so interesting to me to work on. But personally, I still love the RPGs because my style is more like fantasies, orchestra, piano, ethnic fantasies. So my music style will suitable for the RPGs. And I also like to score for the movies, films, because I like to act. Actually, I'm also an actress. I'm also an actress, so I love to act, perform. So it's like to me, it's like the same to express the character's emotion with music. It's more like acting to me. So many clients loved uh, how I express the music in the films or cutscenes. Maybe it's because I am an actress. I can act. So, yes, it's like I was acting in the scenes when I'm writing music for the some scenes, some films. I was always listening to their music and and was dreaming to get into the world of RPGs. I was thinking about how how I got into the world of RPGs, and first I wanted to be a voice actor, and after that, okay, I felt like writing music for video games, so I can get into the world of RPGs. Do you write the melody first, or do you write the accompaniment? It depends on music. But in many cases, hmm, maybe melody first. But sometimes I I write like the counter melodies from strings, like like the staccato passages. I write them first, and I put I add music, I add melodies later. It depends on the cases, but in many cases I write melody first. I didn't know you were an actress. If I say I'm actress, I'm actress. That's cool. Thanks. That's interesting that your music writing style is influenced by acting. Not so many people, not so many composers can act. But in my style, in my mind, acting in the film or I've never I've never been in the film yet. but maybe acting in the film and composing music for the film is mostly the same. Would you have any advice to someone wanting to get into composing music for games and film? Actually, I was the I had the rare case uh, for the Japanese video game composers. Generally speaking, people have to go to the video game companies, video game developing companies after graduating school or university, and they started their career as a composer. But I didn't graduate from any like uh, music schools or any experience of writing music for commercial project. And after I graduated from university, I just started uh, a job in the IT company. I was making web advertisement in the Googles or Twitters or Facebook or so it didn't relate to the games or music. But I felt like I wanted to be a composer for video games. So I continued to make my own music. And I tried to go to the video game companies, but they only hire experienced people. But if you don't have an experience, uh, you cannot have experience. So I didn't have no idea to go to the video game companies. So I I started to pitch myself. I went to some uh like parties or conference and like promoted myself. Okay, I want to make music for video games. I am composer, and I promoted myself to the my acting teacher or my singing teacher. And fortunately, they gave me some jobs, and I worked for it. And yes, I continued to promote myself and continued to make my own music and let them and send many people my music. And the my life changed when I met a man, and he was running his own company, and he got so interested in my music, and he offered me to he hired me as a composer, and and started a new business. And this was the my counterpart. This event changed my life. So if you continue to make your music and let your music uh, or you send your music to many people, someone will find you, and someone will give you a chance. So the best thing is to continue to go on what you are working, uh, go on your dream. Hmm. So I didn't think about uh I was picked up by someone. So I tried many possible things. Yeah, I send my music for the competitions, or yes, mm, I tried many things, and fortunately I'm here. Interesting. I try to write counter melodies first. Yeah, it's interesting. Sometimes counter melody is ringing in my head first, and uh before it's gone soon. The melody or counterpart I come up with is gone soon. I don't know. I come up with the melody, but it's gone soon always. So make sure uh play it with a keyboard and just make your track. Just make your MIDI. I have to go now. Okay, but this was so awesome. I will join your next stream. Thanks. Thanks. Thank you. What a beautiful story. Thank you. I just loved the world of RPGs, and I just wanted to make music for them. That's inspiring. Wow. Thank you. I met you at GDC. I know. I know. I can't wait to go back. Yes, yes, yes. Actually, I was going there uh in 2020. Yes, this year. I forget English. Yes, I booked the hotels and bought a ticket, but it was cancelled. That's so shame. I was so excited to meet many people and many friends and new people. So I decided to uh, meet new people online. So I'm doing this. Yep, almost all game composers in America is freelancers or outsourced. Yes. More Japanese composers are in-house, as you said. Yes, in-house, yes. When you compose an orchestral piece, do you arrange the harmony first or focus on the melody first? Both. As I said earlier, both. Sometimes I come up with the melody and some melody first, and in some cases, I came up with arrangement or counter melodies first. It depends on the situation. Both happen, but the in many cases, I write melody first, and I write uh the bass lines, the root bass lines, and okay, uh 80% of my job was finished. I write melody and I write bass lines, and 80% of my music is finished. Okay, this is a joke. This is a joke. But melody and the bass line is the most important elements in my in the music. So I can change the uh nuance in I can change the code later. I can add some uh I can add anything in the middle range between the bass line and melody lines. And sometimes more higher range. I can do anything with it. But if there is melody and the bass lines, root lines, okay, 80% of my music is finished. That's joke. If you could learn one new instrument, what would it be? I bought my guitar, electronic guitar, and I'm not practicing it so much. But I wish I could play guitar. It's so weird to me. So weird to put the finger positions because I'm I'm get used to the keyboards. Keyboard is so easy. But I wish I could play more many uh instruments because I'm writing orchestral music, and I have to know much about each instrument. So I hope I have a chance to play all instruments in the orchestra, from violin to tuba. And I have to know, I would be surprised how difficult to play them. So I have to say, okay, I cannot do this. But many composers have to know about it, know about how difficult they play it. So with the virtual instrument, you can do anything with uh, the orchestral instrument. But in the real instrument, the real players, it's not always possible. For example, for example, the horns, uh, the they don't sound quickly, but with the virtual instruments, you can layer stack art and leg art, and you can play very quickly. So, but it's sometimes it's difficult for the real players. So I hope to I have a chance to play all instruments. Oh, you live in Japan? Wow. If you are in Japan and wish to work for the Japanese video game companies, you have to go to the SEDEC. It went online this year, but in the usual cases, the SEDEC is held in Yokohama in in the beginning of September. It's like GDC. It's the biggest conference for video game developers. So it's the day most of game developers get together, and they have also parties. There are annual parties for audio people in the video game field, and yeah, we are looking forward to it each year. But this year it was cancelled. So I feel very sorry for that. But if you are in Japan, you have chance to uh, go to the SEDEC and meet the developers. The finger positions and the chord shape are super different. Yeah. Yes, I know what you mean. Yeah, but you can play. I know you can play. Yeah, I think violin for me. Yes, I wouldn't. I would never played. Did you study music in school? No, I learned it by myself. I played piano. My teacher taught me piano for 15 years, but I learned composing by myself. Yeah, that's too bad it was cancelled. Yes. Hope it will be held in the next year. So, thank you very much for coming. I didn't imagine I would speak English to myself. Physically, I'm talking in English by myself. I'm chatting. Yeah, no, I'm chatting with you. It was so fun to chat with you online. Yeah, that's fun. That's fun for me too. So I will do it next time. So I have to prepare for tomorrow. So bye. Thank you very much for coming. See you next time. I'm looking forward to meeting you next time. Maybe soon. Thank you so much. Bye.